Hey, I'm Jocelyn. This is
Mark.
And we're just outside Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. And so today we're going to do the eats of Northern Ireland.
And any day in Northern Ireland needs to start with the best breakfast ever, an Ulster Fry. Now, you've heard of Irish breakfast, and you've heard of English breakfast and Scottish breakfast. Well, here in Northern Ireland, it's no different. So you have your amazing sausage, yes, and your rash of bacon, of course, and your eggs, and your tomatoes, and your beans. And, of course, you get black and white pudding. But what makes it different this time...
they have soda bread and potato bread, but they're also called Farls.
Yeah, and it's so nice. It's like really, really thin versions cooked down. Oh, they're so good. I actually went back for seconds and maybe thirds this morning, but it's well worth it. So that's what you got to start off with. But when we think of Ireland, what do we think of most?
Potatoes.
Potatoes, but it's not just mashed potatoes.
Oh, there's champ, and champ is absolutely awesome. It's mashed potatoes, and inside there's scallions.
And tons of butter, tons of butter.
And there's the cream and milk that, to make up the mashed potato, right? There's also Colcannon,
which is a variation on this. It's mashed potatoes with either cabbage or you'll see kale in there. Jocelyn, the one you had.
I had some last night, and it was kale with some bacon inside. Oh, it was tasty.
Oh, yes, you can't go wrong. And I think a really traditional thing that when people think of coming to Northern Ireland and Ireland generally is Irish stew. And what you have with this, it's usually lamb.
Sometimes beef.
Sometimes beef, but lamb, and then there's potatoes and carrots and just stewed up. And it's like a really hearty meal. And when you've got these chilly evenings
it's so
here,
cold I could
it's
go
a little
for
cold.
some now.
Yeah, it is really, really good.
One of my favorite things here in Northern Ireland are Irish oysters because, well, I just love oysters everywhere, but they're particularly tasty here.
Yes, get them on the half shells by the dozen or half dozen. It's well worth it. But honestly, though, not just oyster. All seafood here in Northern Ireland you're going to enjoy, whether it's lobster or you're going to have prawns, or you had fantastic salmon last night.
Oh, and we had mussels for lunch today in Bushmills.
Oh, yes. And so you can eat seafood till the end. The soups and the stews and the chowder.
All things to warm you up, and if you can't tell, we're kind of chilly here.
Yeah. Another thing you want to have, and we mentioned that in the Ulster Fry, is soda bread, and it's very popular here. What you do is just put a little butter on there. You can't go wrong, because actually dairy here in Northern Ireland.
Well, there's a reason that we buy Irish butter in America, right? Because it's so stinking good.
Yeah, and the cheese here too. You get Kearney blue cheese. You got all kinds of just cheese and butter on everything. You'll be fine. So if you're looking for something kind of quick and on the go, you can always get the pies that are here, or the pasties, which is like ground pork and other things in there, some ground meat in there. Yeah, you get all kinds of different great pies or pasties when you're here. Just grab one. If you go to the fish and chips place, they might have them there too. And of course, fish and chips, you can't go wrong with that when you're here. But what if I get a bit thirsty, my love?
Absolutely, gonna have some whiskey. We were just at Bushmills and had a little whiskey there. Well, he did. I'm driving, so I obviously didn't. But you kind of have to have it. And by the way, whiskey in Northern Ireland has an E in it, not just the Y.
Yes, and actually you can go in Bushmills, you can go to the old Bushmills distillery to see where they make that tasty, tasty liquid of the gods.
Another thing you absolutely have to have in Northern Ireland is the lamb. Like this shake that I'm going to enjoy all night long. There's also Barmbrack cake.
Yeah, which really isn't a cake. It's more like a bread with a bunch of dried fruit in it that gives it its sweetness. So
like fruit cake.
Yeah, like fruit. Yes, like fruit cake, but not like fruit cake, because it's way tastier than fruit cake.
Yeah,
like you want to order this when you have your afternoon tea because it's really good. So you want to do that. There are some other really nice, cakes and treats. There's 15s, which has got a bunch of different, 15 different ingredients in it, but because it's got like ground up digestive cookies and
marshmallows, my favorite,
and coconut as well. Oh, you can't go wrong with that. I know my friends always tell us if you're going to St. George's Market, go grab a bap. Bap is just basically a sandwich kind of thing. You want to grab one of those when you're there. But there's one thing that you're not going to find at the stores a lot, but if you go to some of the fairs and festivals that are around the country, which they do have quite a few, you'll have Yellow Man.
So Yellow Man's kind of like a chewy toffee. It looks a bit like honeycomb.
Yeah, and it's broken up into pieces, kind of like peanut
brittle would be
back home.
But it doesn't taste like peanut brittle.
No, nothing like it. Okay, it's toffee-ish.
It's sold like that in bits.
Yeah, so if you're looking to grab something when you're going home, that's a good candy to kind of take with you. Though you don't find it as often as you probably should.
Right. It's something that you would like to find more often, but you're probably only going to get when you go to those great little festivals, which, by the way, you should absolutely get to because you get to experience a little more of the culture. Mm-hmm. So I think that's about at the end of our list for Northern Ireland. But if you have some great things you'd like to add, please do so in the comments. We'll see you later.
Bye.